Welcome to 3 Words Can Stop a Scam, a basic survival podcast for anyone looking to avoid scams and deceptive marketing. I'm Dave Grillo. For 20 years, I coordinated a consumer awareness and fraud prevention program for the Shrewsbury Council on Aging in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. I now volunteer for a senior citizen fraud helpline. I am not a professional, but I do obsess over how I can help keep fraud and scams from hurting people, especially the innocent and vulnerable. Maybe, through this podcast, I'll even help you. Episode 1 will introduce the 3 words and explain their importance. Subsequent podcast episodes will discuss the things that we all do to get ourselves in trouble. And I will specifically look at how we are tricked while watching television, while using our phones and the internet, when we answer the door, look at our mail, when we donate, and when we invest. I believe that just 3 words can help you to be safer. So please join me as I offer a simple guide to avoiding scams and deceptive marketing. Episode 8, 3 Words Can Stop a Scam. A final look. Do you have a person you can talk to about anything? Think about it. That person really listens, doesn't judge you, and you are grateful that they are there when you need them. If you can't think of anyone, my hope is that you do find someone, even if outside of your family or circle of friends, if need be. Scams flourish when victims, alone and caught off guard, react to dishonest people who they believe are being truthful. Those people are typically strangers. How about this? Resolve to always reach out to that person you can talk to about anything, anytime and every time you receive an unexpected call, piece of mail, email, text, or in-person contact that you just can't or won't ignore. Whether a stranger or even someone you don't know that well threatens you or tells you a family member or friend is in trouble or tells you there is a problem with one of your accounts or tells you that your computer has been infected or even tells you that you've won something, reach out to your person you can talk to about anything before agreeing to anything, no matter what. That is the action plan for 3 Words Can Stop a Scam. Here is what this podcast proposes. Going forward, the first word, stop, becomes your first response to anything unexpected, unfamiliar, or unsettling. When the IRS, Medicare, a financial institution, the police, anyone, calls, emails or texts unexpectedly to tell you there is a problem and you must pay now, stop. Those agencies and organizations don't operate that way. When someone calls, might even sound like your grandchild, saying they're in trouble and need you to send money right away to get them out of it, and don't tell anyone, stop. Now call your grandchild, and if you can't reach him or her, call the parents or someone else who might know where they are. And never send any money. Someone shows interest in dating you from afar, always with excuses why you can't get together, but always needing your financial help. Stop. How does this arrangement make any sense? You get the news that you've won a lottery that you didn't enter or a prize you didn't expect. Stop. Why do you have to pay anything? Fees, taxes, processing charges, anything to receive your lottery or sweepstakes winnings? Or, to claim your prize, why do you have to click on a link that will likely infect your device? You get an urgent message that your device may have been infected and needs urgent attention. Just click on this link or call this number. That's a classic scam. The list goes on. It is so easy to learn a lot about you. even more so if you regularly use social media. Criminals are really good at finding out enough so that when they contact you, they do seem credible, even trustworthy. And someone who knows so much about you must be okay to deal with, right? Not if you don't know exactly who they are. That's where your person or persons you can talk to about anything come in. Stop and reach out to them immediately. Good. So you've stopped. The second word that can stop a scam, verify, helps you determine if this unexpected, unfamiliar, or unnerving communication is legitimate or not. If you can't figure out how to do that on your own, the third word, resources, reminds you that not only are there family members, friends, and trusted acquaintances to turn to, but also organizations and agencies that can help. And if you are isolated, estranged, or just too embarrassed to reach out to someone you know, those organizations and agencies may be preferable because they don't know you, but only want to help. I invite you to re-listen to previous podcasts from this series to remind yourself of the names and types of resources available to you. My sole purpose in doing this podcast has been to provide a simple guide to responding to the numerous, constant, and ever-changing scams and deceptive marketing we all face. None of us are spared. As a fraud prevention volunteer over the past 24 years, it has been most gratifying to me when I've talked with those who checked in to discuss if something they received was a scam. They hadn't reacted, they had stopped, and contacted me for advice. I've also enjoyed those who proudly claimed that they had thwarted a likely scam and just wanted to talk about it. I have tried to be helpful to those who fell for scams, but after the fact, too often all I could do is try to console them. Ideally, you will never receive a scam communication, but if you do, my hope is that you will be able to boast how you use 3 words to stop a scam. Technology has made our lives easier. It has also made fraud easier. Maybe you shouldn't click on that link, even if it is from a friend. Rather, verify the actual URL or web address of the source you want and type that into search yourself, just to be sure. Maybe you should be more selective with whom you communicate on social media and limit how much you share. Expect that anything you put out there can find its way to someone who can use it against you. Maybe you should use complicated passwords across all your accounts. Be traditional. Write them down on a sheet of paper for quick reference. The extra effort might just prevent a ton of trouble. Maybe you should use security software to block threats you can't imagine. Get the experts on your side. Maybe you should only use public Wi-Fi to do searches that don't require you to identify yourself or don't ask you for personal information, including account numbers and passwords. Public Wi-Fi is highly insecure, and those free charging stations available in public places have become a source for infecting cell phones with malicious downloads unbeknownst to users. Instead, bring your own plug-in cord to charge your phone when away from home. Maybe you should opt for paper statements versus online statements. You are likely to look at paper statements and notice if something isn't right. Maybe you should do a credit freeze with Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, the 3 main credit agencies, so that, going forward, no one but you can take out credit in your name. It's easy to do and only a little inconvenient when you are seeking new credit. Maybe you should always use your credit card instead of your debit card to pay for things. Credit cards offer great protection. Debit cards offer virtually none. Maybe you don't appreciate the value of a paper shredder. Any personal information in paper form that you throw away can be valuable to bad-intentioned crooks who scour trash bins and dumpsters for prized material. Newer, more insidious scams are in our future. Scams are unpredictable. Always beware of any requests for money upfront to solve an unexpected problem. And other than cash, gift cards and person-to-person or P2P apps like Zelle and Venmo are the currencies that crooks prefer, so therefore, definite red flags. Also, always beware of requests or demands for personal and account information, because if that falls into the wrong hands, it could compromise your financial security. Okay, so you've identified a caller or online solicitor as a possible fraud. Do you confront them? Do you tell them off? Do you show them how clever you can be? I advise against it. Kudos to you that you are so aware. And standing up to a bully can be empowering, but not necessarily a good idea when it comes to criminals perpetrating scams. Most are not impressed, and certainly they are not discouraged. And the fact that you have responded marks you as a live one who, when contacted by a very skilled con man, might just crack. As smart as you are, don't offer them the chance. The list of scam victims is loaded with outsmarted, smart combatants. Local police are the logical first responders, to crime of any kind. Sure, call them if you believe you've been scammed. But realize that unless the criminals are local and easy to track, which they usually aren't, you will find that the police have limited resources and limited reach. The FBI, the Federal Trade Commission, and other law enforcement agencies usually only get actively involved with the scam when a pattern of victimization among several people has been noticed. Therefore, you are your best line of defense. Once you've fallen for a scam, the odds are against you as far as recovering what you have lost. Another reason to stop, the first word, before you act. When you are online, you are exposed, possibly much more so than you can imagine. Keep in mind that anything you send by computer or cell phone, as well as your searches, may become known to someone who knows how to spy on such things. The saying, "Don't send anything you wouldn't want someone else to see," really does have merit. Contact your phone service provider to learn what it is doing to block fake numbers. Also, consider call blocking devices that are available in the marketplace. The Do Not Call registry is too limited to count on. Consumer Reports magazine has just come out with its August 2023 issue featuring an updated scam prevention guide. Your local library may have it if you wish to view it without having to buy it. Even if you haven't been scammed, you may find yourself in crisis, even desperately so. A new service, the Suicide and Crisis Hotline, will connect you to trained mental health counselors in your area. Simply dial 988. One last thing, and this goes back to having a person you can talk to about anything. Consider finding an advocate, someone who is an extra set of eyes and ears to help you with your business and financial dealings. Have your advocate there with you whenever possible when you have those dealings. Take them to the doctor's office with you. Consider being the person you can talk to about anything for someone else. Please set yourself up so that you never have to suffer in silence. Thank you for listening to this podcast on a topic that I care so deeply about. I can't thank Shrewsbury Media Connection enough for its encouragement, full support, and uncanny editing. I have known the professional staff there for a long time. Their commitment to excellence is unwavering. My best to all of you, and stay vigilant by remembering the 3 words that can stop a scam: stop, verify, and resources.